Up in the arena for the small tour, she's going to be riding the Prix St. George for us today, is Alicia Targa riding CP Charmour. I hope I've said that right. Yeah. This horse is owned by Catherine Straley, and it was bred by Kirsty Beard. It's sired by Charmour and out of Cassiopeia. It's an 11-year-old based with Alicia in Shoalhaven, New South Wales on the south coast. And Alicia is proudly sponsored by Kentucky Equine Research, Boutique Equines, and Leader Equine. So thank them all for their participation in keeping one of our top riders in the arena. Alicia, I'm sure, needs no introduction to most of you. She's been one of our most formidable forces in competitive dressage for many years as I've been in the country. Alicia was on young horses at the time, riding as a young rider at the time, and has taken horse after horse through all of the grades. She and Charmour have been partnered since January of 2023, and she's looking for this horse to be her next to take her into the Grand Prix arena. Their partnership highlights include winning the Advanced Championships at Canberra Classic with 2 over 70% tests and placing a close second in the Wallinga Park Inter 1 with a personal best. And this weekend she competed in the small tour with the Prix St. George, the Inter 1 and the freestyle, finishing the freestyle 4th on 69.84. Thank you very much for participating today, Alicia. And I'll pass it over to Sandy, who will ring the bell, and we will start the Prix St. George test. Just have to do the bell. Bell now? Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
Active uphill canter. Halt could show more balance behind. More prompt move off, 7. Nicely balanced. More suppleness through corner, 7. Uphill and light-footed, slight tension in mouth at the finish, 7.5. Slightly drifting right, but clear bend, 7. Nicely carrying uphill, show more elastic top line, 7. Well engaged, could be looser over the back, 7.5. More suppleness at F, 7. Nicely uphill, slight tension through pole at start, 7.5. Show a bit more bend, 7. Show more suppleness on right side, more balance behind, 7. quite small, well-controlled, could be more active, 7. To be smaller and a bit more balanced, 6.5. Clear rhythm, show a bit more marching, 7. Clear rhythm, show more ground cover and freedom of shoulder. Maintains the rhythm, 7. Unfortunate disturbance and loss of balance, 4. An 8. Show a bit more self-carriage, more straight at finish, 7. Unfortunate loss of balance and changed behind briefly, 4. More separation behind and change, 6.5. Well prepared, could be smaller and show more bend, 7. More control of quarters through corner, expressive change, 7. Quite expressive changes, slight tension to last change, 7.5. Eight. Well forward, could be more supple over the back, 7. And 8, well prepared and expressive. And an 8, quite supple and well prepared. And those of you who've noticed he's not perfectly square behind, we still have 9 and 10 to go to. So the way he went into it, the balance, even though it wasn't perfectly square, I could still do an 8 there easily. Anyway, thought I would just explain that. Okay, general impressions we will do. We had a little issue with the Canada part, but overall it was quite lovely and well balanced. So I will come down from my 8 to a 7.5 on the general impression. Okay, so when we're doing that general impression, we think about our overall score, what we would give, and then we think about if there were any major issues or smaller issues in the test and come down a little bit from that. So I came down from my 8, but it was still clearly better test than you normally see. So I think a 7. I mean, I would accept a 7, but I want a reward. That was super well done, very nice job. A good recovery from the little kerfuffle down there. Super. I like the walk now. It's hard to get that walk in the test when you have to get it. But now the walk would be a little bit higher. Super. Okay, so the highlights for me were the quality of the horse, quality of the riding. Shows clear, the horse looks like he's ready for this level. It shows clear uphill balance, nice in the changes. The thing that I would like to work on a little bit is getting the pirouettes a little bit more sitting, more flexible on the haunches, maybe a little more preparation. So maybe we can work on that. What else can I tell you? The counter canter with the flying change, I said more separation behind in the change. You want to be careful when you do the counter canter through the corner not to ask for too much bend, because then it's hard to organize for the change, and they're a little bit crooked in the change, so it appears shorter behind from the side. What else? I thought the changes were nice on this horse. You know, for the really big marks, I'd like to see him even more elastic and swinging through his back and his body. But that will come. Let's see, what else? Yeah, what else can I tell you? Half pirouettes were okay. Yeah, let's work a little bit with the canter, and let's see if we can get a little more suppleness of the haunches and get your pirouettes a little bit better. Or half pirouettes, rather. You know, you could really appreciate the rhythm in the walk, though, on this horse. A lot of times the walk is fine and the extended, and then they pick up the rein and the rhythm deteriorates a little. So it's important to make sure you watch the whole walk before giving the score for that, for the judges. Super. So bring him on a circle. Oh, there's something over there. It's okay. Such a brave boy. Yeah, good boy. Super. Okay, so let's do just a little bit, just some simple transitions within the canter. So collected canter, and then working canter, and then collected canter, back and forth. Maybe 7 or 8 strides of each, okay? 3, 4, 5. Release. Good. And bigger. Good. And when you collect, do a little bit half halt, give, half halt, give, half halt, give, half halt. Kind of ride the wave. Yes. Super. So that the hind legs aren't blocked. Very good. He can really sit, this guy. Super talent for this. And this is a great exercise, 7, 7, 7. So 7 steps working canter, 7 strides developing the collected canter. Yeah, and then go out. Good. Yeah, one more time. Yes. Good, and release. Nice, super good. Super good. I'm just thinking I have kind of a cool exercise. Are you game for something unusual? Okay, well, let me explain it first and then see if you think it might be something that works for your horse. It's an experiment. You're going to canter down the center line. When you get near I, you're going to collect and you're going to turn left toward S. Before S, collect and sit him down and ride a half pirouette. Then you're going to turn right and counter canter back down the center line. I know, it's hard, but I think it might help organize the balance, and you can do it all on the other side as well. So you're going to end up on the center line. And it's an experiment. If it works for her horse, then great. If it doesn't, then we'll try something else. Good. So half halt, give, half halt, give, half halt, give. Good. Yeah. Good. So toward S, and now just gently sit him down a little bit. And it can be like a working half piro. It doesn't have to be a small one. Yeah, and now right turn. Yeah, super. Shoulder 4, good boy. And then just do the same thing down at the other end. It doesn't have to be exactly at the letter. Good. Straight, sit them down, and turn and give, turn and give, turn and give, turn and give, turn right, right turn, yeah, nice, super good. One more time each way and then we're gonna walk. Good, collect and give, good. Bring the haunches just a little bit to the left, good. Turn and give, turn and give, turn and give, good. Turn right, super. Freshen up the canter a little bit here if you need to. Yeah, good. That's okay, that's okay. Yeah, if that happens, you can always go on and do it somewhere else. Good, lovely. So notice when we're schooling this, it's okay to make sort of working half pirouettes. They don't have to be super tight. It's more important that the technique is good and the mechanic is good. Very nice, pet them, reward. Then we're gonna go on the right lead and we'll do the circle exercise. Was that helpful? Super. What I liked was he really took the weight, but he kept cantering through his body. I didn't get the feeling he was gonna shut down. And that's really hard, that turn to the counter canter, but that was really well done. I find that super helpful. So when you're ready, we're just gonna go on the circle and we'll do the 7-7-7 exercise. Whenever you're ready, and if you need a medium canter to refresh his canter, just do it. Don't even wait for me to tell you. But we're gonna do the exercise working, 7 steps working canter, 7 steps normal collected. It doesn't even have to be very collected. And a little bit softer hand, maybe a little longer curb rein because he's getting a little too deep. There you go. Good. What's nice about this horse and this way of riding is he's really nice and round behind the saddle. You know, he's not, you know, some horses are like stiff behind the saddle. He's not, especially in the canter. Good. Half halt give. Good. Super. Super. You have a really good feel for the half halt. You're making the half halts when the forehand comes up. That's when the haunches are down, and that's what puts weight on the haunches. Yeah, super. And then push off again. Good. And you guys know, you trainers, you have to alternate pushing things with pushing power, things with carrying power. You don't want to just do collecting or just do forward, forward, forward. You have to do both. It's really important. Good. Yeah, this side, I think we need to have a little bit quicker tempo. Just a little quicker. Good, like that. Yes, and 7. 7 steps big, or working canter. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and collect, give. Good, and 7. Yes, soften your wrists, soften your shoulders. Good, yeah, and collect, good. A little more bend, that's okay. When you collect him, he a little bit straightens and stiffens his spine. So when you're training, you can ask for a tiny bit of haunches in as you collect. Yeah, just till you feel him accept the bend, and then you go out again. And then the next time you collect, see if he'll stay bending and not throw his haunches to the outside. Really good. So that's an example of when you're training the horse, you can adjust a little bit some things. Don't misunderstand me that I want you to push the horse's haunches in when you collect, but he needs that right now. Because she tries to collect him and he kind of straightens his body and swings his haunches to the outside. Very good reward. That looks super. Would you like to walk a second before we do the exercise, or do you want to just go ahead and do it? Because we're going to do that same kind of interesting exercise. And if you need to freshen up the canter first with a medium, go ahead. And again, the half pirouette part, you can make them a little bit bigger if you want to. I rarely ride little tiny show size pirouettes, especially if there's danger of losing the quality of the canter. I'd rather keep it a little bigger. Yeah, nice, nice. Now left turn, left, yeah. Good, shoulder 4, freshen up the canter, preparing for, and you can do it anywhere on the center line. It doesn't have to be exactly at the letter. Good, think a little, bring the haunches a little to the right with you, yeah. Nice, super. And you wouldn't say the haunches are in, but it has to feel a little bit that way for you when you collect them, so you keep them bent behind the saddle. Good job. Nice. Think inside shoulder up. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Super. I don't think you even have to do that again. Do you want to ride a line of changes now, since he's so super up in his shoulders? Some 3s or 2s or whatever you want to do, but look up, sit up. Think about climbing up and forward. Keep going, keep flowing, keep flowing. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, pet him. Good boy. They're super expressive, but they're a little climbing and they look a little sticky. So think about the flow of the canter. And you can ride 2s or 3s, it's up to you. But keep flowing forward within that expression. Yes, 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 yes. Very good. That's fine. Super. What a cool horse. Yeah. And then when you're training, if you feel them start getting a little crooked, a little high behind, then just abandon the tempes, regain, and then continue, okay? So we're going to do it just one more time. And make sure you stay sitting. Think of the changes coming from the hind end. Yes, yes, yeah, beautiful. Keep going. Good for you. I'm glad you stopped there. One of them was short, but you fixed it. Super potential. Super. Circle once. Okay, yeah, give him a little break. You can give him a break. Yeah, super. So halfway through the changes, he gets a little crooked, and that's where you would kind of, stop the changes, fix the canter, and then ask for some more changes. Yeah, super. So what do you think of the pirouette exercise? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good, because not once did I feel like, oh, he's going to block and he's going to stop, and the other thing is in the test, when you're approaching that pirouette and you're on that diagonal line, obviously it has to be straight, the judge has to see that, but as a rider, it should feel like you can have a little bit of shoulder 4, if you need, a little bit of travers if you need, just don't make it so obvious. But you need to know that you have control of the forehand and the haunches before you put the horse on the spot and then turn. And I know you know that, but it makes a better pirouette. And then you feel like you could just keep pirouetting if you wanted to,
I find that is hard, like once you get the test, you want to ride the line.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you're actually giving yourself a handicap because you're not preparing, as you said, with a little travers, a little shoulder in, come into it.
Yeah.
Possibly get a better pirouette.
Exactly.
You ride that line straight. You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It has to look straight, but to you it has to have a little bit of bend front and back. So he's going to stay over his back, he's going to bend his haunches. We should try that. Let's do, is it okay to do one more or two more half pirouettes? Play around with that. Do it on your line like in the test, but make sure he's really adjustable front and back as far as bend and collection on the approach. And then do the actual half pirouette, or you can make it a little bit bigger too, when you feel like it's really going to happen. So even use the corner, you know, little shoulder forward, little travers. Do I have control of both ends? And then sit him down a little bit, supple him a little. Yeah, and then you can do it. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay, that was like a whole point higher. Awesome. And none of us would say, oh, she's crooked on that line. We couldn't see your little preparations and adjusting, but he felt it. Now this side especially has to be really bendy behind the saddle. Yeah, good boy. Yes. Yes, exactly. Did you feel him stiffen a little during the pirouette? You can also, during the pirouette, bend him a little extra, you know what I mean? It was still good, but if you had ridden a whole pirouette, I would have been like, uh-oh, he's throwing his girth to the left, to the right. Yeah, bend and give, front end, hind end, yeah, good boy. Good, right out. Yeah. Yeah. Nicer corner, much better. Yeah, beautiful change. See, because you didn't bend so much in the corner, the change was better. Okay, so now make sure his girth is willing to go to the left and that his croup is willing to go to the right. Girth to the left, croup to the right. Yes, 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 yes. Super. Way better. Way better. Very good. And walk. That was awesome. So one thing about pirouettes, and you were already doing it, during the pirouette, it should feel like you could leg yield out at any moment. That the horse is never just straight in his body and leaning in against your inside leg. Because that's when they change behind or stuff happens, you know? So a good exercise too is working pirouettes where you're doing kind of a large continuous pirouette, but you're bending the horse and coming in, and then you're leg yielding a little out, and then coming in again, and then out again, just to make sure he stays flexible and bending around your inside leg the whole time. I'm sure you do a lot of that stuff. I also do a lot of leg yield and canter. You know, go down the quarter line, leg yield out, and then a little shoulder forward or travers, just to make sure that the horse is still moving outward. I'm sure you do a lot of that. That's great for canter too. And it's a little unusual. Not a lot of people do leg yield and canter, but I love it. I do it a lot. Don't you find like the more you train up the levels, especially getting to the FEI levels, it's really a dance of managing lateral and longitudinal balance. You know, keeping the horse in that invisible box, you know, but keeping the flexibility and the lateral suppleness and the longitudinal throughness, that the energy goes from the back to the front and that you can leverage from the front to the back, and it's, yeah. You need the power, right.
From this movement to that movement, it all happens very quickly.
Yes, it does. Super, good job, that was lovely.
I think you did a really good job of balancing. We don't often see suppleness with so much control, and you can see how much acceptance and effectiveness you have as a rider in how the horse goes and how quickly you can adjust it.